Leaving the Viking village, I saw this church had a lunch special, so I stopped and it was phenomenal. And then I went on this boat tour.
It was 4 European groups: the Portuguese, the Spanish, the English, and the French. They all come for catfish. The Portuguese and Spanish didn't stay long, but the English and French did. So they fought over the land a bit here, but the first written down occasion of the French being here was 1506. They stayed right up until the mid-1800s. So through a couple of treaties and a couple of world wars, they come to figure out that this is the English land, not the French land. So like the mid-1800s, they went on again, they weren't allowed to come back anymore. But they came for the cod fishery, they only come for the summer. They weren't allowed to stay all winter, so they actually came like late spring, left early fall, and they went on back again, and the English come behind, burned everything, beat it up, done whatever they could to make sure the French did not settle on this land. So I'm going to point out a bread oven to everybody. It's not in good shape. It's from the 1700s. So there is a couple recreated. There's one in Port of Swall. There's a French museum up there that they make bread into it every day. There's one in Carpoon, Queerpon, it looks like on the map down north of us. They don't make bread or nothing in that one. You can just pull alongside the road and see it. There's a 5-minute drive off the main highway. So over to your right side, you're going to see some grey sticks in the beach. There's two parallel, and there's two pointing in at a mound in the grass. Right over here, look, everybody look at my hand, right in here. So the two parallel, not those, the ones that's pointing straight in. There's a mound in the grass there, that's the remains of that bread oven. So you'll see some orange bricks. You take a picture and zoom in on it, you'll see some orange sticking out of it. Those bricks are from France. So when they came here, they brought the bricks that with them and built bread ovens all over the place here. There's another one.
Pieces of broken off ice from the icebergs are called growlers.
See that is really hard? Put on my gloves so I don't beat my hands, please. Cut my hands before, too many times.
Wow. Thank you. It's crystal clear.
Yes, definitely. So just let the salt drip off it and give it a try.
We were supposed to be looking at the icebergs, but I was just as intrigued by the rock and how the waves just smashed up against them. It was wild. 170 feet of water on this side, 220 on the other side.
It's probably like 180 where that iceberg is to.
And that
175 where we're to here now.
So when it arrived 3 weeks ago, was it all one, like, pretty,
yes, ma'am.
All solid in the
It
middle
was all
there?
solid, wouldn't that eat out in the middle or nothing like that.
Wow.
So everybody's going to see a dark vein on this one. So that dark vein is called glacial deposition. So what it's caused from when the glacier is forming, you'll get mudslides sliding down over the glacier, and the dirt gets trapped inside of it. More snow packed on top of it, trapped in the dirt. So it's dirt from Greenland. So you can see where this iceberg is really smooth. There's a rough patch on the other side, that's where pieces fell off, but where's really smooth, it's where it's been underwater for a period of time. This one has tipped over something in here.
Yeah, and this is the chunk that fell off. He actually saw it fall.
Up on the east coast, we have big nesting colonies up there, we don't here. And that's all ice. So that's why you can't get too close to these icebergs. Even if a piece breaks off, 200 feet of water here, so you gotta come to the top. So you wouldn't want a big piece of ice to tip them upside down either.
More waves crashing against the rock. I just loved it. It was so mesmerizing. And this was the second iceberg we saw. He explained those dark blue veins are from rain when when it was initially freezing. Divots are from chunks that have fallen off.
Yes, ma'am. This was on the bottom. On Saturday when I was here, this was the bottom of this iceberg.
Oh.
Just rolled over. I wouldn't expect it to be here. Either one of those icebergs, I expected to be gone today. When I came out on the first tour this morning, I told everybody we might see an iceberg, we might not. Because we're so big as swell this morning.
Yeah.
This morning when I was here, the swell was going on over this iceberg.
Really?
We had a big swell in the water this morning. It's gone back a lot compared to what it was this morning. When we used to go down to the swell before we got here, you used to see the iceberg, then you wouldn't see the iceberg. You see the iceberg, you wouldn't see the iceberg.
Oh my God, that must have been really
The
rough.
ocean is calming down when you We had strong winds yesterday from the northeast. Makes a big swell. Here to Winishore in December of 1940. She was called the SS Beothuk. She was a 100-foot-long steamship. She went ashore here in the storm. No one ever lost their lives on her. Everybody got off. When you get a ship going ashore anywhere in Newfoundland or around the world, you get salvage rights. So people from the community that we just came in on come out here, strip that ship, whatever they can get off. Even the stuff was nailed down, they can always that off. So we have a bathtub at the end of the dock. That came off of this ship here, and a bathtub on a barrel right between the two bathrooms. That came off of this ship too as well. And there's an electric fan in the main shop that's on the floor. The big metal electric fan that came off of this ship. So they estimated around Newfoundland to be somewhere around 10 to 15,000 shipwrecks years ago. Now we think it's more like 20 to 30,000 shipwrecks. Because we didn't get roads here until 63. So prior to 63, everything was by boat. And all the freight was brought around and everybody fished for a living, so there's lots of different shipwrecks around. There's one on the end of Lansing Meadows called the Landycraig. When you go to Lansing Meadows, you go through on the island, you'll see a big rusty spot. She was 200 feet long, she comes from Hull, England. She did crash in there, she staked the lighthouses, and people did lose their lives on that. There's another one in Big Brook, just next to Coos Harbour, a little bit north of us. She's from World War II. There was a convoy that come out of Nova Scotia. They was off from here. They met up with U-boat 202. They come so many of them. So they turned back for Nova Scotia. They made it in the Strait of Belle Isle. They met up with U-boat 203. And they sent so many more. She ran ashore in Big Brook. But she was full of corn. So there's lots of different shipwrecks around all over the place here. If anybody wants an Airbnb tonight, the grey one's available. Half price with the boat tour. But what this is the community of Fortune. It's unfortunate now, but there used to be 7 houses here in this field, 2 just behind us. But when we joined Canada in '49, they came up with a resettlement program. So the settlement program, what they come up with, they said they put in better infrastructure, roads, water, sewer, electricity, schooling, all that good stuff. And they also offered $1,000 per house, $200 per person in it. But this community here, they did not leave with the resettlement program. They left on their own accord in '72. The reason why they stayed until '72 is because the fishery was dominant here right up until '92. So you would fish right out your front door, and not only that, the way of transportation was by boat or dog team or anything like that, so this would have been a perfect place to live. A lot of places, when they did leave, they took their houses with them. So they'd take them off the foundation, they'd drag them to the water, they'd haul them up to the next community and let them air out and move in again. And now you can do that. There's no insulation in these old houses, there's no wiring in them, there's no gyprock or anything, so you would have nothing to room. So you just haul them up. My grandfather said they would float half of the door. That happened quite often around Newfoundland. There's hundreds of these small communities all around Newfoundland that got relocated. Right where that iceberg is too that we were just down to, in that cove there was another community there that got relocated. Just up by just before St. Anthony is called Great Brad. So Little Brad is another community that was relocated just alongside here. So that was a sore point of joining Canada at the time. There was a little over 51% that wanted to join, a little under 49 that didn't. So they took names off of graveyards, they done it all so to make sure that we would join Canada in '49. If it was done right, we probably wouldn't have joined at the time. But the green cabin here is a man named Gerard Bartlett. He was born down here, so he comes here on the weekends just to spend a bit of time here where he grew up to. But the little mini church there was boggling everybody here because he's the least religious man we all know from the community. I say he swears more in that little thing than he do praying in there. So why it looks like a church is because the church used to be to the left-hand side of that grey building. He took the steeple off it, dragged it down to that old shed, or the shed he got made there, and put it on top just to give a little bit of look back to what this community used to be. So this was a Catholic community, so the Catholics lived down here, the Protestants lived up where we just came from. So years ago they didn't mix together. Like I've heard stories of Catholic women went to marry Protestant men where we're from. The family wouldn't allow it. It was a big deal years ago here. So I'm going to aim the boat straight at it, then I'll turn again.
These are pictures of an eagle's nest, and he has actually climbed up there and seen it. They come back every year and apparently have 2 or 3 chicks, and they only feed the strongest one, and the weaker ones die or get eaten or thrown out of the nest. And the father hawk, or eagle I should say, sorry, flew around and was looking at us.
The mice, though?
That's what I would think too. I would be, if I was a mouse, I wouldn't be in the eagle's nest.
Yeah,
But
might be good. The other one is he's just circling, watching us, man. Like,
yeah, so he's up there
get
looking for food. We've been here 3 times a day, every day, so they're quite used to us now over the years.
He knows you're not coming ashore, eh?
I watched him a couple of days ago taking a rabbit and bring it down to the nest and start tearing it apart and feeding the chicks.
I can't get him on my
That
camera.
boat driver was just so interesting and fun. I loved his accent too. He kept calling me ma'am. All good things must come to a end. We came back to land. I thought this was Letty there, but it wasn't.
Now we have less than 500. And people had to move away from work and everything. My family, when they originated here, my last name is Snow. Snow was pointing straight ahead of us, so that's where my grandfather used to live to, right there in front of us, and there to the left, in there. Yeah, there's a graveyard right in there. Got my great grandparents and everything into it. Here, the man I work for, his family come from right where the boats are too. And this old building is 106-year-old that we came in of, so they were fish merchants first. So they bought fish off the local people. That was the local store, so you come by boat years ago.
So where did, if you said you're fifth generation, where did they come from?
Great Britain.
Oh, okay.
Then they came across and they started settling on Newfoundland.
This is a picture of the village before it was abandoned, and this is a picture of the shipwreck that he showed us.